Beyonce's my grandma and Jigga is my uncle. Timothy Harrison is his real name. My grandmother's name is Helen Bradford, for those that want to know Beyonce's real name. And if you look up all her problems, bro, my grandmother's sick. Like, my grandmother's on her deathbed. Beyonce is literally my grandma, bro.
When Orlando Brown started saying that Beyonce was his grandma and Hova was his uncle, a lot of people brushed it off as just another strange moment. Most viewers didn't stop to think there could be another way to understand what he was saying. But what if those comments weren't meant to be taken literally at all? What if he was speaking in symbols instead, using coded language to describe how he sees certain people and situations? Some people believe Orlando often talks in a way that hides a deeper meaning beneath the surface. Instead of focusing only on the exact words, they think he's trying to point people toward a bigger message that has to be pieced together. According to that point of view, every statement is like another puzzle piece waiting to be connected. Whether that's true or not is open to debate, but it's definitely why so many people keep replaying his interviews and looking for clues. He's also made dramatic claims about feeling called to expose powerful figures and push back against what he sees as wrongdoing, while suggesting that he has faced pressure and attempts to silence him because of what he says. Those statements have sparked non-stop discussion across social media, with supporters and critics arguing over what he really meant. Now there's even more chatter online as people claim Orlando has been paying close attention to everything surrounding Blue Ivy. According to online rumors, he believes she should be careful and stay aware of the people around her if she wants to avoid getting caught up in unnecessary drama. Whether those rumors have any truth behind them or not, they have definitely added another layer to the growing conversation surrounding his interviews and public comments. Orlando Brown has made headlines more than once after sharing videos where he said he was worried about his own safety because he believed he had learned too much about how the entertainment world really works. Those comments spread quickly online, but because of his unpredictable public image, many people dismissed them as shocking statements instead of taking the time to consider what he was trying to say. Anyone who has followed his interviews knows he often speaks about what he believes are hidden influences and secret power structures inside the industry. He has also mentioned several well-known celebrities while sharing his personal opinions and theories. Orlando has even said that he carries what he calls the disease called God, explaining that he believes his faith keeps him from fitting into certain circles or taking part in behavior that doesn't match his values. Whether people agree with him or not, those comments have become a huge part of why his interviews continue to get so much attention. More recently, online rumors have suggested that Orlando believes there's more happening behind the scenes when it comes to Blue Ivy's very private public image. These claims are based on speculation and have not been confirmed, but they continue to spark conversations across social media. Some people point out that whenever she's seen at public events, her appearances are carefully managed, she's escorted through crowds quickly, and very little of her personal life is ever shown to the public.
You know, Diddy and Jay-Z, Auntie Sean and Auntie Yolanda. No matter how many contracts you try to take out of my life, no matter how many times you try to let my family or talk to people to stay away from me, no matter how many things you try to do to me, and how many things you try to do to me, and once again, it's again, Auntie Sean and Auntie Yolanda, Diddy and Jay-Z. Don't play with somebody that you know that could drop on you, okay? That could drop on you. I sent me to ruin y'all.
Others simply see that level of privacy as completely normal for the child of two of the world's biggest celebrities. Every public appearance seems carefully planned, from the custom outfits to the polished photos and professionally produced moments. To some, that reflects a family protecting their privacy and image. To others, it raises questions about just how much of her life is intentionally kept away from the spotlight. That difference in opinion is exactly why the discussion keeps growing online. Some people say Blue Ivy is treated almost like royalty whenever she appears in public. On the surface, that might sound glamorous, but others point out that growing up with that level of fame likely means having very little privacy and spending most of your time within carefully managed circles. Because of that, online commentators have created all kinds of theories about what her lifestyle really looks like behind the scenes. This is where Orlando Brown's comments have fueled even more discussion. Based on interpretations of what he said, some people believe he was suggesting that Blue Ivy is growing up under enormous expectations because of her family's influence in the entertainment world. Those interpretations are speculative and unverified, but they continue to circulate across social media, with different people reading different meanings into his statements. It's also true that unusual theories have surrounded Blue Ivy ever since she was born. Over the years, people online have come up with countless stories, hidden message claims, and name interpretations, trying to connect ordinary details to much bigger narratives. None of those theories have been verified, but they've continued to spread because celebrity rumors often take on a life of their own once they start gaining attention. One moment that generated a lot of conversation was her appearance at the Met Gala. Many viewers were surprised because the event has long been known for having a minimum age requirement of 18, with organizers describing it as an adult-focused fundraising event. Her appearance quickly became a trending topic, and people immediately began debating whether an exception had been made, whether the rules had changed, or whether there was more to the story. Others argued there wasn't necessarily anything unusual about it at all. With celebrities at that level, public appearances are often planned well in advance, and major events sometimes create confusion about guest lists, invitations, or special arrangements. Even so, that moment became another example of how almost everything involving Blue Ivy ends up creating huge conversations online, with fans and critics offering completely different interpretations of the same event. That led many people to ask one big question: why was it so important for Blue Ivy to attend that event at that particular time? Almost immediately, social media filled with people trying to find hidden meanings in every little detail. Whether those ideas were accurate or not, they quickly became part of the online conversation surrounding the event.
It's been 10 years.
10 years.
How does it feel being back?
It feels surreal because my daughter's here.
And Blue looks so beautiful.
She looks so beautiful. This is it's incredible to be able to share it with her, and I think she looks so incredible.
She looks so beautiful. I'm like, we
does.
could learn some red carpet tips from Blue.
Absolutely.
The way she's posing, I'm like,
She was ready.
She was ready.
She is.
One detail that drew a lot of attention was Beyonce's outfit. Many viewers pointed out that her look appeared to be inspired by The Visitor, an artwork by Louisiana Creole artist Caroline Durio. The piece features a skeletal figure standing at someone's doorway and has often been interpreted as representing life's fragile nature and the unexpected arrival of difficult moments. Because of that symbolism, some online users felt the inspiration carried a deeper artistic message, while others believed it was simply a creative fashion choice. People also noted that the Met Gala itself is known for bold, dramatic, and highly artistic themes that encourage designers to create unforgettable looks. Since the event often celebrates abstract ideas and striking visual storytelling, fans naturally began debating whether the outfit was making a statement or whether people were reading too much into it. Blue Ivy's gown became another major talking point. Some online commentators said the elegant design gave her an especially formal, almost ceremonial appearance, while others viewed it as nothing more than a high-fashion look for one of the biggest nights in the entertainment world. Another detail that caught people's attention was her footwear. Many noticed that her shoes closely matched Beyonce's outfit rather than her own dress, leading some fans to wonder if it was meant to symbolize following in her mother's footsteps. Others simply saw it as a coordinated styling choice that helped tie both looks together. Either way, those small fashion details kept the conversation going long after the event ended. After all of those details were discussed online, some people began building much bigger theories around the event. One of the more dramatic claims was that it symbolized Blue Ivy stepping into a new role or carrying forward her family's public legacy. Others even pointed to Jay-Z's tuxedo and suggested it fit into their own symbolic interpretations of the evening. These ideas spread quickly across social media, although none of them have been supported by verified evidence. Another topic that added to the conversation was Blue Ivy's outfit from Balenciaga. The fashion house had already been at the center of major public criticism because of previous advertising campaigns that many people considered inappropriate. Those campaigns sparked widespread backlash, generated countless headlines, and led to intense public debate about the brand's creative decisions. Not long after that initial controversy, another Balenciaga campaign also received heavy scrutiny. Online users closely examined one of the promotional images and pointed out documents that appeared in the background, leading to even more questions and discussion.
The brand faced significant criticism over those creative choices, and the campaigns became one of the biggest fashion controversies of the year. Because of that history, some online commentators questioned why Blue Ivy was wearing the brand at such a high-profile event. Others argued that it was simply a fashion decision and shouldn't be connected to unrelated controversies. Like with many celebrity moments, opinions were sharply divided, and people reached very different conclusions based on the same images.
Witch, she's a very powerful witch. She's heavy into African spirituality. She is a daughter of, I believe, either a daughter of Oshun or Yemaya. I go back and forth. I feel like it's Oshun though, but if I got it wrong, I got it wrong. But nonetheless, she's a high-ranking witch.
On top of that, Beyonce has been the subject of countless internet rumors and symbolic interpretations over the years. Those stories are circulated online for a long time, but they remain unverified, with fans and critics continuing to debate them whenever a major public appearance brings fresh attention to her and her family. Over the years, a number of former associates, commentators, and public figures have made claims about Jay-Z and Beyonce, sharing their own opinions and personal interpretations of what goes on behind the scenes in the entertainment industry. Those statements have fueled plenty of online discussion, but they remain widely debated and have not been verified. One of the names that often comes up in these conversations is former band member Kimberly Thompson. She previously filed for a restraining order and made a series of allegations involving Beyonce, claiming she believed she was being monitored and that someone was interfering with different parts of her personal and professional life. Those claims attracted major media attention at the time, but the court did not grant the restraining order and the allegations were disputed. Kimberly also links several difficult experiences in her life, including career setbacks, financial struggles, personal losses, and relationship problems to those beliefs. Her statements generated significant headlines and became another chapter in the many stories that have surrounded some of the biggest names in the music industry. Even today, people continue to debate those claims, while no evidence has publicly confirmed the broader allegations that have circulated online. Another artist whose name is often mentioned in these online discussions is MIA. Over the years, she has publicly criticized Roc Nation and spoken about her own experiences in the music industry, saying she felt her career was negatively affected after disagreements behind the scenes. Her comments have sparked ongoing debate among fans and commentators, although her opinions remain her own and have been widely discussed rather than verified as fact. MIA has also shared personal beliefs about the entertainment business and suggested that the public doesn't always see what happens behind closed doors. Those statements attracted plenty of attention, with supporters saying she was speaking openly about the pressures of the industry, while critics argued that her claims lacked supporting evidence. As with many celebrity interviews, her remarks quickly became part of a much larger online conversation. Because of comments like these, some people argued that Orlando Brown's statements deserve a closer look instead of being dismissed immediately. Others strongly disagree and believe his remarks should be viewed with caution. The debate has only grown as different public figures continue sharing their own perspectives about life in the entertainment world.
It's obviously they've been controlled by Satanism. I mean, I'm not really scared to say that. We all know Luciferians, Freemasons, and all occult knowledge that was up from Egypt have now surfaced itself in American society. And if you actually dig through the raps, like as I have, before it was all about partying, popping bottles, but when you listen to it again with a new ear, obviously they're not serving the same Most High God that I am. And that's what makes us enemies, that I stand for a completely different doctrine, a completely different nation, and a completely different truth than he does.
Supporters often point out that several well-known people have voiced concerns or criticism about the industry over the years, while skeptics argue that similar opinions don't automatically prove a larger story. Either way, Orlando's comments continue to generate discussion, and every new interview seems to bring renewed attention to his claims and the ongoing public fascination with what really happens behind the scenes in Hollywood. One thing that makes Orlando Brown's interviews so unusual is that he rarely explains his thoughts in a straightforward way. Instead, he jumps from one topic to another, mixes personal experiences with symbolism, and leaves people trying to figure out what he actually meant.
That's exactly why so many clips of his interviews get replayed over and over, with viewers offering completely different interpretations of the same comments. Some listeners believe he's speaking metaphorically, while others think he's simply expressing his personal views in a unique style. Either way, his interviews have become a source of endless speculation because almost every sentence can be interpreted in more than one way. When it comes to Beyonce and Jay-Z, their level of fame only adds to that mystery. Every appearance, outfit, performance, or public statement is analyzed from every possible angle. Supporters often seek carefully planned branding and creative storytelling, while critics look for hidden meanings that they believe connect one event to another. The same photos and videos can lead to completely different conclusions depending on who's watching. That contrast is what makes Orlando's comments stand out even more. Instead of focusing on specific events, he often speaks as though there's a much bigger picture that most people aren't noticing. Whether someone agrees with his perspective or not, his words have encouraged people to revisit old interviews, public appearances, and viral moments, searching for details they may have overlooked the first time around. One moment that people keep bringing up is how Orlando has often hinted that the biggest stories aren't the ones making headlines, they're the ones happening quietly behind the scenes. In several interviews, he suggested that the entertainment industry is built on carefully managed public images, where fans only get to see what celebrities choose to share. Whether people agree with that idea or not, it has become one of the main reasons his interviews continue to generate attention. Supporters of that view often point to how carefully major celebrities protect their brands. Public appearances are planned down to the smallest details, interviews are coordinated, and social media posts are often polished long before anyone sees them. While that's a normal part of being a global superstar, some people believe it also leaves room for endless speculation whenever something seems unusual or unexpected.
I don't have any materialism attached to my spirit or soul anymore. I don't have fornication attached to my spirit anymore. I mean, I just got engaged July, so my life is completely different from how I was with women in the early 2000s. And I think that is the difference in itself of being involved with Rockaware has made me see something completely different and knowing who his allegiance is.
Orlando has also suggested that silence can sometimes be just as interesting as public statements. According to his way of thinking, it's not only about what famous people say, but also about what they choose not to address. That perspective has led some viewers to revisit old interviews, award show moments, and public appearances, looking for patterns they may have missed before. Of course, none of those interpretations have been confirmed, and many people see them as nothing more than fan theories. Still, Orlando's style of speaking encourages viewers to connect different moments together like pieces of a puzzle, even when others believe there's no connection at all. That way of looking at things sets up one of the biggest questions he keeps hinting at, because he believes there are certain moments that reveal far more than people realize at first glance. According to people who closely follow Orlando's interviews, one of the biggest themes in everything he says is that influence doesn't always come from what happens on stage. It comes from what happens long before the cameras are rolling. He has repeatedly suggested that the most important decisions are made in private, while the public only sees the finished result. That's one reason his comments are often interpreted in so many different ways. Fans who analyze his interviews say he frequently encourages people to pay attention to patterns instead of isolated moments. Rather than focusing on one event, they compare interviews, public appearances, speeches, and even social media posts, believing that the bigger picture only becomes clear when those moments are viewed together. Others completely reject that approach, arguing that it's easy to find patterns even when none actually exist. Another point Orlando has touched on is how quickly public opinion can change. One day, a celebrity can be praised across every platform, and the next, the same person can become the center of non-stop criticism after a single headline or viral clip. He has suggested that reputation can shift almost overnight, making it difficult to know which stories are based on solid information and which ones grow simply because they capture attention. That's why some viewers believe Orlando's interviews aren't really about individual celebrities at all.
Instead, they see them as his way of questioning how fame, influence, and public perception work behind the scenes. Whether that interpretation is accurate or not, it adds another layer to his comments and sets the stage for the next claims that have left many people trying to figure out exactly what he was trying to say. As people continued looking through Orlando Brown's older interviews, another detail started standing out. He often talks as if certain conversations are happening on two different levels at the same time. On the surface, his comments can sound random or confusing, but some viewers believe he's using symbols and personal references instead of explaining everything directly. That's why the same interview can leave one person completely puzzled, while another thinks they caught a hidden message.
The girl Kat.
Okay.
A girl went to court and charged her with extreme witchcraft. She was hypnotized. She was drugged. Beyonce came and she was in there eating on her and shit while she was asleep. Snacking on his bed. And people Kat. And guess what? They wouldn't give her the restraining order. They just told her to stay away from Beyonce and work for somebody else. Guess what? She's having a hard time finding work too.
Because of that, supporters have gone back through years of clips, comparing statements made months or even years apart. They believe some of his ideas connect together like chapters in a larger story rather than separate interviews. Skeptics, on the other hand, argue that it's easy to link unrelated comments together after the fact. The two sides couldn't see the situation more differently. Another reason his interviews keep getting replayed is that Orlando rarely walks back what he says. Even when people question him or laugh at his comments, he usually sticks to his personal beliefs instead of changing his position. That consistency has led some viewers to wonder whether he genuinely believes he's trying to warn people about something, while others think he's simply expressing his own perspective in an unconventional way. No matter which side someone falls on, one thing is clear. Orlando has managed to keep people asking questions long after each interview ends, and that's where the conversation starts shifting again, because some of his followers believe one particular public appearance connects with several of the comments he's made over the years in a way they say is difficult to ignore. That brings the focus back to something Orlando has hinted at more than once: how quickly people decide what to believe based on a public image alone. He has suggested that once someone becomes famous enough, every move they make is carefully examined. But at the same time, many people automatically accept whatever story is presented to them. According to Orlando's point of view, that's exactly why he encourages people to question things instead of taking every headline at face value. Supporters of his interviews often say that's what separates Orlando from other celebrities who speak out. Instead of giving polished answers, he tends to speak freely, even if his thoughts come across as confusing or difficult to follow. Some viewers see that as authenticity, while others believe it simply makes his comments easier to misinterpret. Either way, his interviews rarely follow the usual script. Another interesting detail is how Orlando often circles back to the idea of perception. In several conversations, he has implied that what the public sees is only one part of a much larger picture. Whether he's talking about celebrity friendships, business relationships, or major public events, he tends to suggest there's another side that never makes it into interviews or headlines. That's one reason his supporters spend so much time analyzing old clips, searching for connections they think others have missed. Even critics admit that Orlando has a way of making people stop and think about how celebrity culture works. His comments often raise broader questions about image, influence, and the difference between public appearances and private reality. And as those questions continue to build, attention starts shifting toward another series of moments that many viewers believe deserve a much closer look before drawing any conclusions.
I don't want to drip myself in blood and cover myself in swimming goop, in black goop, can like wear devil horns so we can sell a record. But that, or be a witch, or be that, all of that.
That's why some viewers believe Orlando's interviews are less about making direct accusations and more about encouraging people to pay closer attention. Instead of offering detailed explanations, he often leaves short remarks that spark long discussions, allowing everyone to reach their own conclusions based on what they've seen over the years. His supporters argue that this approach is intentional. They believe he wants people to think critically rather than simply accept one version of a story.
Critics, however, see the same comments as vague opinions that can be interpreted in countless different ways. Either way, Orlando's interviews have created a trail of questions that people continue revisiting, and one particular moment involving a public appearance is often mentioned by those who believe it lines up with several of the themes he's talked about before, leading into another chapter of the story. After hearing all of these theories, it's easy to see why so many people have strong opinions. Some believe Orlando Brown is trying to point people toward a bigger message through the way he speaks, while others think his comments are simply being interpreted far beyond what he intended. At the center of all this discussion is Blue Ivy, who is still a young person growing up in the public eye, while millions of people watch and analyze almost everything connected to her. The truth is, many of the claims discussed throughout this video are based on speculation, personal opinions, and online theories rather than verified facts. It's important to separate confirmed information from internet rumors, no matter how convincing a story might sound. Orlando's interviews continue to spark debate because everyone seems to hear something different in his words. So what do you think? Are people reading far too much into Orlando Brown's interviews and connecting unrelated events? Or do you think some of his comments deserve a closer look? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear your perspective. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who loves celebrity stories and internet mysteries. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.